the NFL's leading tackler from week
Yeah.
one, 15 tackles, two TFLs, that much I know, and a fumble recovery. Congrats on the Bears win, but also the personal TJ Edwards win.
Yeah, I mean it was a great game. I think it was a little rocky to start, but that's kind of, first games you kind of got to get your feet wet for a second and we ended up doing some really good things and honestly we were just having fun. Like it was good to be out there, at home for the first one and get a dub for sure.
What felt so right to you that he had such a monster game?
Yeah, I felt like honestly there was just like no panic, which was like it was awesome to feel. I feel like in those games when things are going wrong, it's easy to people to kind of lose their minds a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was never that. And we kind of just buckled in and made some really good things happen in the second half for sure.
Can we talk about what the energy was like at Soldier Field? Because I was so jealous I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was jumping. You should have been there, but it was jumping for sure. It was sold out obviously, but I felt like it was loud. Like it was kind of the first time for me where I was like, all right, this is serious. So it was an awesome atmosphere. I mean, beautiful day. And when you get a win, it kind of makes the place a whole lot louder for sure.
I noticed you had 15 tackles. So did your best friend, Zach
Yeah.
Bond. Tell me about that. Did you pull off these 15 not because of Chicago or how you're feeling or Tennessee? Did you do it to hold court with Zach Bond?
Yeah, it was 100%. I saw him on Thursday night, saw him what he did, and I was like, yeah, I got to get him. And I missed a couple, so I really should have beat him, but that's how it goes. But it was one awesome to see him kind of do his thing, but I definitely sent him a little text after to let him know I'm here. So can't let him get too comfortable.
I wonder if you'll be keeping score with him. I always like asking you to gauge like the energy with Chicago, whatever, because you know it so well. It means something to you personally to
Yeah.
play for that team. Is it carrying over? Do you feel so supported by Chicago right now as a team?
Absolutely. I mean, especially around this time, like the expectations and the buzz around the city is always crazy. Like we have great teams here, but it's people love their football out here, and I was one of those kids screaming at my TV and all that. So to be kind of here, where I grew up is it's awesome. And the city, they want to see their team win. They care. And that's what we're trying to do for sure.
I don't know how much you remember of the 2006 Bears, but I kept likening it to that, just saying, this is Urlacher Lance Briggs, this is Hester.
Yeah.
It just felt like, defense, special teams taking over is what I'm used to in Chicago. Do you think that is the identity of this team?
I don't know. I honestly think it's a really well balanced team, and it's the NFL, right? So there's always going to be those games where other phases have to pick up for one, and the offense they'll pick us up as the season gets going. But honestly, I think just that the team in general, it was a lot of fun. I felt like in the past that could have went a different way, right? And I felt like everyone just had each other's back, and there was no type of demeanor change or anything like that. It was kind of just like let's get to it. Let's figure out a way to find a win it. And good teams find a way to do that. And we were able to kind of handle some adversity. And it was a lot of fun for sure.
I loved watching, speaking of demeanor, just Caleb Williams, like as the clock hit zero and he knew he had himself a win, and it was a true team win. And he was just so happy. He just looked so
Yeah.
happy. Clearly not the game he wanted to have, not the debut that he would have written for himself. What was he like after the game?
Yeah, I felt like honestly from day one, he's just been himself. And I feel like that is so difficult to do with, kind of what he's walking into and kind of, the expectations. But at the end of the day, he's just himself. And that's something that you can really respect, out of a young guy for sure. But at the end of the day, like it's so hard to win in this league. And I think it's cool, right? Just kind of see him, up and jumping, even though maybe he didn't have the game he wanted, he was still in it. He still was happy after the game because, like a win's a win. And I don't care what it looks like, what the score was. Anytime you do that, we did some good things and we'll correct what we didn't. But I just felt like his energy the whole game of keeping the offense in it as well was awesome. It was good to see.
I want to get back to you in the defense because it deserves all the love here. You have these 15 tackles, amazing. My favorite play didn't show up on the stat sheet though. Talk to me about the Stevenson pick six. You're
Yeah.
in the A gap, even though you dropped, you dropped into coverage. It was your
Mm.
spell job that helped Tyler Gordon. Tyler Gordon comes free, pressures Levis into the interception. Walk me through that.
Yeah, it was kind of something we've been, been working on and trying to figure, some different looks and stuff out. And I felt like we just executed so well. It was honestly Demarcus Walker on the edge, because Kyler kind of flushed him out, and that's kind of, the plan for that. And Demarcus Walker on the edge he just kind of did his like contained job and got to the quarterback, and he was phenomenal all day. But that last one, and then seeing Reek kind of trying to catch that, and even like on the replay, you see the focus of Reek, going to catch the ball. It's big time, and make a play like that, like when we needed it, truly, it's awesome.
Yeah, you had one of the craziest fumble recoveries I've ever seen right before that. So I just want you to, we're friends, be honest with me. Did you know that ball was still loose, or were you running up to celebrate?
Yeah, I was definitely at the time, like I saw Montez grab it. And so like I put my hand up, so I was like, yeah, we got it. Like we're good to go. And then I was just by the pile, honestly, just to help like get him up and everything like that. And I just saw the ball pop out, and I know he was sick about it too, because I think he was in between on picking it up and going and running and getting on it, and it kind of got knocked out of his hand. But like I told him, like I'll take it. I appreciate it. I know he was there, but that's kind of how we are. We joke about it and have fun with it. And it was cool to make a play though, for sure.
What was coach like after the win? What is his whole energy? How would you describe it?
Yeah, and you've talked to Flus, so he's an
I love
intense
it.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy, and he loves football. But I think, obviously coming into halftime, we weren't, too happy with what we were doing, but I felt like his message of after the game was just kind of what we talked about earlier, was just like there was no panic in anyone, and in past times that could have went a little differently, but I think the culture that we're developing here is one that handles adversity a little bit better than we have in the past. And you kind of saw that coming to fruition a little bit. But he was all smiles after the game, because it's hard to win. And but just like Flus, who came in, yesterday, we're right back to it, ready to work. So he understands it's hard to win, and we'll take it. And but there's a lot of work to do, and we got a big time team coming up this week.
You're saying if he builds confidence, it's like how does someone affect change that quickly? Like how did he do that? How did he make help this team feel like they could handle adversity better than before? How does he do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that takes time, right? I feel like you kind of got to go through those highs and lows. And I think with Flus, he's the same guy every day. Like he's not going to come in and be a different guy on game day than he has been the whole week. He jokes with you, he's going to get on you, he expects a lot. And that's kind of who he is. And that's why you respect him so much, because it's easy to kind of flip the script, when things aren't going well. And he never has. Honestly, even last year with our struggles, he never was different or anything like that. And he's kept that going. And it's helped us a lot.
You mentioned you have a big game coming up. Oh my gosh, it's bright light.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. It's the Texans. What's the biggest focus for you on facing that offense?
Yeah, I mean, from top to bottom, it's a great team. I feel like, even coming off of last year, that kind of rolled into the season hot and things like that. But it's gonna be a great test for us, just being me. I had to watch the last game because I had to, but try to get an early start on them. But they're definitely as advertised. And adding Mixon, I think, to that group is tough. And Pierce is tough. Played them, a couple years ago and things like that. So some of the offensive line is similar, but it's a great unit, and Mixon's a heck of a back. Stroud with, all the weapons he needs. It's going to be a great test for us, but I'm excited. I think that place is going to be jumping. The lights are going to be bright. It's going to be fun for sure.
There's a tweet that we saw from Bears fan Tanner. Okay, this is what he said. TJ Edwards is and will unfortunately continue to be the most underappreciated linebacker in the entire league. If he were on the Chiefs or Ravens, he would have been on the top 100 list without a doubt. Absolute dog. What do you make of that?
Absolute dog. I appreciate it. Nah, I mean, it's one of those things to where like I hold myself in high regard, because I expect a lot out of myself, and I expect to go out there and make plays, and I expect to be around the ball as much as I can. But I just want to get better. And one thing I've learned a lot from all those personal accolades that you want. If your team's winning, the defense is playing well, like all those things will come. So that's kind of where my focus is just us just getting wins, our defense playing well, and I know all those things that I want will come with it for sure.
I mean, you finished top 7 in tackles in back-to-back years. You're not going to say it. I'm going to say it. No Pro Bowl, no All Pro.
Yeah.
We got to, I don't know how we get that to happen this year. I hope it's on your when you're
Absolutely.
visualizing and you're doing, like, I hope that's self,
Absolutely.
hope that's what you're after a little bit. I know you care about the team more, but we got to get you there.
Yeah, no doubt. I do a lot of manifesting and things like that, and that's definitely something that, is on my mind. And honestly, I play this game for respecting my peers. I play it because I love it, but I want that respect. I want to go out there and earn it every single day. And I'm excited to see where this year kind of ends up because I think some big things coming for sure.
Are these old heads coming around more? Are you hearing from like the Briggses and the Urlachers?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that'll come, right? I know last year, I got to talk to Briggs a little bit, met Urlacher.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah, it's cool, right? To kind of see those guys that I grew up watching, everything like that. But as this thing gets going, I'm sure we're gonna get more and more of those guys. And Charles Tillman's always around and things like that. So it's kind of cool to see the guys that I grew up watching, be around the building that I'm in is cool.
Who else are you looking at in the league? What, just give me outside of Chicago. I know you watched ball, you watched those, you watched your boy Bond, you did all that. What's like a takeaway you had? Who's balling? Who do you want to give love to?
I mean, I think, I kind of watched it back, but TJ Watt, I feel like just, and we trained together I trained together in the off season. And he was looking a little different in the off season for sure. But to see him kind of just go, like wreck that game in a way, I felt like every snap he was there. He's fun to watch. His energy, his juice, because he's the same way working out. So to see it kind of translate to the field, year in and year out, it's impressive. It really is.
I don't know. You're my favorite, TJ.
I appreciate that. I always tell him I'm the real TJ, so that's how
Yeah.
that goes.
Okay, good luck. And I've got lots of work to do. Enjoy the beautiful. I mean, I bet this is the best time to be in Chicago right now.
Yeah. This is it. This is fall weather coming up. Everyone's got their pumpkin coffees walking around and all that. It's a good time for sure.
Enjoy it. Congrats on the win. Let it soak in and then go kick the Texans' ass on Sunday night.
You're, you're damn right. I appreciate it, Kay.